Can I ask you a question? How many good relationships do you know of? Like, really good? Probably not many, huh? How many really good relationships have you had? For most of us, probably not many. How many good relationships have you seen that are you even aware of? You're probably getting my point. Do you even know how good relationships happen? Like, like really? Like if you're lucky enough to have seen or known of a good relationship, do you know why it's good? Aside from the fact that, like, they found the right person, which isn't exactly the reason. Yeah. Listen, I hear this all the time, and it is heartbreaking. And it is the reason why I very, adamantly claim that the way that love and relationships have been happening cannot keep happening in the same way. If you've been paying attention to me or my stuff, you know that I am here to lead a relationship revolution. And in 2026, I am more committed than ever to that movement because I know that relationships are foundational to our well being, that relationship skills are our most important success skills. And when we know how to do our relationships well, when we know how to lead them consciously and powerfully, we don't just change our own lives for the better, we will change the world for the better. And yet, I don't know that most people are aware of the deep need for this revolution. And that's what I want to talk about today. This is what I've been inspired. This is the download I got from Source about where to go for January's theme is to talk about the relationship revolution. And we're starting today with why we need a revolution. So, if you're not clear on why this revolution is so fucking important or how revolutionizing your relationship is going to change your life, then you're going to want to lean in and listen up, my friends, because that's what we're going to get into today. Welcome to another Catalyst conversation for a relationship revolution, the first one in the year of 2026. Here in these conversations, we disrupt the old stories about love and power and partnership. We activate new ways of leading relationships consciously, courageously, differently, so that you can consciously create them, so that you can have the kind of relationships that most people only dream about. And I'm glad that you're here. If you're new to me and this work that I do, let me take a moment to introduce myself. My name is Dr. Jenny Wallach. I am a relationship rebel, an empowerment expert, and an intuitive infinite possibilities guide. I'm also the co-founder of Powerful Love Relationships, where we are on this mission to revolutionize relationships and redefine what it really means to love, thus unlocking this next level of power and consciousness of healing and connection on a global level. We do this through transformational mentorship, national and international speaking, bold verbal and written truth telling, and accessible digital courses, and practical and effective tools that actually work. The work that we do here in Powerful Love, everything that I am about, is anchored in two foundational paradigm shifting truths. Now, this is different from what I was saying last year because I talked about one truth, and I've recognized, like, no, there's actually two. So pay attention, friends. The first truth is this: that it only takes one person to change a relationship. It takes each of us, but it only takes one person. And it takes you, love. And the second truth is this, that real love is actually about choosing on purpose how you show up, even, especially when you don't want to, when it would be easier not to. If you want to help us in activating and accelerating, I mean, I like that word, accelerating. Yes, accelerating this global movement, make sure that you comment and like and subscribe to us on YouTube, share about our work, attend our events, and of course, do your part to continue leading with love. So let's get into some of this. I'm really excited to be talking about the revolution with you guys. As I was writing out the outline, the ideas for where I want to go, the things that I want to bring into these conversations in the month of January, I could feel the energy building. So I'm going to just take a moment and ground myself, because otherwise, you know what happens? I get talking and I go way long and way out of the way. So here we go. This month, we're going to get into the relationship revolution, why it is, what it is, like how to do it, where it's going. The relationship revolution is my mission, y'all. It is my divine assignment. It is what Source has given me. I didn't pick it. It feels bigger and more intimidating than little old me would have imagined I would be here for. And yet here I am. And I don't always know how I'm going to do it, but I'm taking my steps boldly, courageously forward, and kicking off 2026 with these conversations as part of that pathway. This relationship revolution, though, like I'm for real about it. This is not a trend for me. This is not therapy speak. I'm not here to teach you 5 tips to communicate better. And this is not a small passion project, guys. I am here. This relationship revolution is here to be a global movement. This is a fundamental paradigm shift in how humanity loves, relates, and leads, starting at the most intimate level, our intimate partner relationships, and rippling outward. Let me say that one more time, because I want you all to understand this. The relationship revolution that I am talking about, when we have these catalyst conversations for a relationship revolution, okay, the relationship revolution is a fundamental paradigm shift in how humanity loves, relates, and leads, starting with our most intimate level relationships and rippling outward. Because here's the thing, the way that we have been doing love and relationships is quietly breaking us. We're going to get into that. We're going to start our conversation today talking about why this revolution is so necessary, why love and relationships can't keep going like they have been, and what this, when I say like this can't keep going on, what this really is that can't keep happening. And then we're going to look at what waits on the other side of the revolution. But before I jump in, I want to make my little plug for our Relationship Revolution community. Inside this community, we go deeper into the work. We take these ideas and we implement them into our lives. We apply them. The Relationship Revolution is a space for learning and growing and expanding in our devotion to this revolution, to being a part of the change, to doing relationships in a more conscious and effective way that benefits not only our own lives, that creates that ripple effect. And I have got some plans for the Relationship Revolution community in 2026 that I'm very excited about. So I will share more about the TRR community at the end of our conversation today. I also have a really awesome one-time opportunity that I would love for you to consider if it feels aligned, that I believe will be happening in February. So I'm going to share about that at the end of our conversation. So stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss this one. Okay. Let's talk about what's happening in the current state of affairs in the relationship world. So most people, at least in the United States, are probably aware that there's this 50% divorce rate that's happening, which is to say that 50% of all marriages that happen in the United States eventually result in a divorce. That's a pretty high statistic. The statistic gets even higher when you're looking at second and third marriages. So it's like, it's not like people get married once and then the next time they're in a relationship, they do a better job. It's like, actually, they're more likely to get divorced again. And then if they get married again, they're even more likely to get divorced from that partner. We're not getting better, people. We're not getting better in our relationships. What is even more heartbreaking for me is that there are studies that have demonstrated that a majority of people who have who've been surveyed, who've gotten divorced, who believe that they could have saved their relationships if they had known how. If they'd known how, if they had the information for like what to do or how to do it, that they believe they could have saved their relationships. One study, it was reported in a New York Times article. I don't remember who had done the study, but one study found that of their survey respondents, 95% of divorcees believed that their marriage could have been saved. 95% believed that they didn't actually need to get divorced, that there was a chance that the marriage could have continued. Like, there are so many ripple effects to in that core of our family system, not just in the divorce itself, but in the journey leading up to divorce, the energy, the pain, the trauma, the hurt, the lost time, the lost opportunity, the lost income revenue, if you're a business owner, like think about how that like affects, like what is the cost of that? Like it's got to be astronomical. Just like let that drop in for a second. 95%. And here's the thing, like that's not even accounting for the number of people who are still married but not happy in their relationships. How many people are just sticking in it because of their kids? Or because they're afraid of being alone or not having the financial resources? What's the level of genuine happiness and fulfillment that people are reaching in their marriages? Because, and I don't know, I don't have statistics on that one, but my personal lived experience as a relationship therapist and mentor for 2 decades has been that there's actually not a lot, which is why I also started with those questions. And I hear it all the time in these conversations that I have about the work that I do. People are telling me all the time, I'm so glad you're doing this work. It's so needed because I don't really know anybody who has a good marriage. They're married, but they're not happy. The longest study ever conducted on human happiness, a study that came out of Harvard, found that the number one predictor of happiness and health and longevity, like how long we stay alive, was the quality of our closest relationships. It's not money, it's not success, not achievement, not mindset, not exercise. It was the quality of our closest relationships. And what relationship is closer than our intimate partner relationship, than our spouse? Guys, this is huge. And I would argue, again, I don't have stats or research on this, but except the personal experience and the work that I do, but I would argue that, because I work with a lot of entrepreneurs, that our closest relationship, our intimate partner, our marriage, it affects our success, the success of our business, the success of our career, the success of our mental health, right? And the success of our abundance, how financially well off we end up becoming, because our relationships are a cornerstone, and it ripples. Our happiness, our joy, and the impact of the frequency that we embody on a day-to-day basis, and that is affected by the quality of our closest relationships, our partnership, our marriage. That affects everything else, does it not? These dots, I connect these dots. It doesn't make sense to see them or connect them any other way. And here's something else I want to say. And this is something that I believe to the core of me, my friends, about our relationships, and why I am so fucking passionate about this work and this need for a revolution, y'all. I believe that most of the suffering in the world is caused by relationships that aren't working. Let me say that again. Most of the suffering in our world is caused by relationships that aren't working. From mental illness, relationships with ourselves, relationships with family of origin, people who hurt us, who weren't supposed to, trauma, addiction, right? Relationships that weren't working, to broken families, to broken systems, relationships that aren't working. Fuck. It's not our prison system, relationships that aren't working. It's not our political system, relationships that aren't working. To wars and violence and a planet that is undergoing another mass extinction. Are not those relationships that aren't working? We have a relationship to our planet, don't we? And it is not working very well. Relationships, it's all relationships. And the thing is that how we do one thing is how we do everything. So when we learn how to do relationships well in one space, we develop the skills to be able to do relationships well in every space. And what I have found is that no other space invites us to learn relationships and what it takes to do them more than our intimate partner relationships. So I was on a TV episode yesterday with the amazing Angel Marie Monticelli, and on her Energize You TV show, and we talked about the way that all relationships start with the relationship with self, and that's true. It is the most important relationship that we have, and we can't do relationships with others without having a good relationship with self. But the thing is that we don't often recognize where we need to work on relationship with self until we are in relationship with others. The relationships that we have with others become the mirror. They become the catalyst. They become the red flag, the trailhead that leads us down to the awareness of the healing and the growth that needs to happen within. They are the necessary catalyst, the necessary soul supports for our own spiritual growth and healing. We can't do it alone. There's a saying I heard once in my very first class that inspired me on this path to relationship learning. It was called interpersonal effectiveness training, and it fucking changed my life. And one of the things that my teacher said was, you alone can do it. And by the way, this is a liberating assumption. One day I'll probably do a whole class on it. You alone can do it, but you can't do it alone. Which is about the fact that, like, we are responsible for this work. We alone must be doing the healing work of ourselves, but we cannot just do it ourselves. We need other people. We need our relationships to help us know what it is we need to do. So this work, this revolution, this is why it is so essential. This is why we can't keep doing it, because it is slowly breaking us as people. The rates of mental illness, of mental health issues are going up and up and up. People are less happy, are more stressed, are more depressed, are less fulfilled. The rates of divorce are going up. The families are breaking. Communities are breaking. Our systems are breaking. And all of that maybe is, I think, good, because we are in a position in so many ways where we are in very much need of a fucking revolution, major changes, so that things can get better. And sometimes, there's one thing I learned somewhere along my therapy journey, is that sometimes the pain of staying the same has to be greater than the pain of changing in order for change to occur. And maybe we're approaching that point as a country or as humanity. Nevertheless, we are approaching a point where change really needs to occur. And I know that change needs to occur in our relationships. And this revolution is a part of it. Are you all getting that? Are you all getting the bigness of this, the realness of this, the power and the beauty of it, and the importance, the significance of the fact that you are here, that you're listening to this, that you are part of this revolution? Thank you. Thank you for being a part of this revolution, my love, my friend, my fellow revolutionary. I'm so glad you're here. Now listen, I want to take a moment to talk about what this is that needs to change, because this is a really important piece of what we are doing in the revolution, what this revolution is. And there's five things that this revolution is that downloaded for me as I was planning out this month and this topic. Well, that's not even true. There were 5 things that downloaded to me as I was thinking about what is the revolution. And that came first. And then I was like, oh, I should do that as a topic. And lo and behold, there were 5 Fridays in January. So anyway, I'll say that. I didn't actually like, oh, what 5 things could I? was like, no, the revolution actually just came out as 5 parts, and then everything worked out. Okay, so one of the key pieces that needs to shift in this revolution, that needs to change, that cannot stay the same, is we need to move from this illusion of separation and come into connection, because that separation is part of what's killing us. That separation is core to the suffering. This belief that I am separate from the planet, that I am separate from you, that your needs are different from my needs. How? Because if your needs are not getting met, how are you going to be able to meet mine? You're going to be out of capacity. If my needs are not getting met, how am I going to be able to meet yours? I'm going to be out of capacity. Our needs are tied. We are, and us, we are a system. You've probably, if you've been part of these conversations, you've heard me talk about this before. I'm going to keep talking about it because it is necessary and we need repetition. This is part of the revolution. This is a revolutionary idea. Part of this me versus you, I think, also includes the separation of like who's right and who's wrong. Who fucking cares? There's no right and wrong. There's no your truth, my truth, like objective reality, and this is what it is. It's no, like it's all subjective. Your truth is your truth, my truth is my truth, and actually what matters is how we treat each other. The us. We need to move away from me and you to us. From separation to togetherness, to not even like I would love for us to move into oneness, but if we could just move at least into partnership, could we just move into partnership to relationality? Let's name it that way. Let's move from individuality to relationality, from separation to partnership, where someone loses and someone wins, to like not even compromise, like we both win. We recognize that we both win because there is a way that that can happen. But when the separation runs the system, when it's me versus you, friends, there is no amount of communication that's going to save the relationship. There's no amount of skills that's going to make things better. There's no solution to your problem when you are in me versus you. There's just not, until you solve for that problem, until you move into relationality, until we heal this illusion of separateness and recognize that we are connected, that what affects you affects me, that what is in the best interest of you is in the best interest of me, what is in the best interest of all is in the best interest of me, and we start taking that into consideration to the best of our ability, relationships are not going to improve. That is foundational to the revolution. So we need to move into this relationality energy, right? We need to think about this ripple effect, right? Of who we be and the bounce back of impact, right? Not just so as I was thinking about like the ripple effect, we think about it just going outward, but no, like the ripple effect goes outward and then comes back. That's the real ripple effect, right? It's not just that it leaves you and ripples out and out and out and out. It ripples out and then it comes back. Okay. This, when you get this, right, then it shifts how you think about your moves in a relationship, right? And so one of my favorite relational experts, coach and therapist named Terry Real, has this concept that I just freaking love called enlightened self-interest. And I want to give this to you. This is like my little take this away golden nugget if you haven't already received a bunch. Practice this enlightened self-interest. Enlightened self-interest is about recognizing that it's okay to do things in relationship with the recognition that you are doing the thing for your own well-being, for your own interests, because you want something. And that's not selfish. It's enlightened self-interest. Your partner may benefit, but you're not martyring yourself for them. You're doing it because you recognize that benefiting them benefits you. That's 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 a paradigm shift, isn't it? This move away from selfishness to enlightened self-interest. Now we're not just doing it because it's all about us. We're doing it with the conscious recognition that it benefits our partner. By benefiting our partner, we're more likely to get what we want. Let me share an example. Cal and I have been going through a level up. Now, expansions and levels up in relationship are not always easy. And I'm so grateful we have the skills that we have. Because even with the skills, it's not fucking easy. And one of the things that I've been, I'm just gonna say, one of the things I've been complaining about is that I have not wanted to keep doing as much emotional labor in coaching him through his emotions when he's upset or distressed. I want him to do more of that. I'm more practiced, I'm more skillful. He's less so. And I just, at this stage in my perimenopausal life, I have less patience and less fucks. And so he's adjusting to that, and I'm adjusting to that. So I just need him to like figure out how to do more of that. So the other day, we were in some shit, and he had, we'd gone through a cycle, a pattern that we're trying to break, and it was really frustrating. I was really pissed off and hurt, and he was really mad at himself because he did the thing again. Damn nervous systems. And he got stuck in some of his like inner shit, right? He felt really bad. And I decided to support him in moving through how bad he felt. I decided to offer soothing and take him into, a visualization and do some parts work with him and help him to do some like inner healing. And he had some resistance to this because he didn't want me to have to do more emotional labor and then, resent him for yet again having to do the work of supporting him. Fair, because that's the shit I've been complaining about having to do. And here I was doing it again. Fair point, Cal. But in that moment, I was very conscious of the fact that I was doing it. I was not doing it from obligation. I was not doing it because I felt like I had to keep the peace or to move things along. I was doing it from a very sovereign choice in order to get my needs met and like shift how the day was going and have him and his energy back. And because I felt resourced enough to offer it. So it was a gift of love, freely and sovereignly given. And done, honestly, in my own self-interest. It was enlightened self-interest. And so I was able to say that, like, yeah, you're right. I'm choosing this, not really for you so much. I'm choosing this for me because I don't want to wait. And I would like to have you back. So I want to help you get there. And also I love you. And I want to be the kind of partner that I feel good about and I have the resources to give it today. So I'm choosing it. Like that's the difference. Now on days when I don't want to choose it, The loving thing for me to do would have been to not choose it and say, listen, I can't. I don't have the capacity. I don't want to. So I'm not going to. Because giving something when you don't have it is not going to help ultimately. But that's an example of enlightened self-interest. And that's an example of uh, you know, moving into moving from me versus you to an us. Because it very much could have been like I'm upset and you hurt me again and you are the problem, so you need to go fix it. And this is where a lot of couples get stuck. And understandably, right? And also, this is where a lot of couples miss opportunities for healing and growth and expansion. So, I hope that this is turning on some light bulbs, and I would love to hear if you are like what's coming up for you as you're listening to this. Is this making sense? Are you seeing examples of this in your life? Do you have questions? Are you finding resistance? Please comment. Put your reactions in the chat, because I want to know, is the way that I'm sharing about this, is it making sense? Is it getting through? Are you connecting to what this revolution is about and why it's so important, and why this me versus you separation, individualism, has been so detrimental to the way we've been doing love and relationships, and why it is a foundational step in our revolutionary process. So let me know your thoughts. Before we wrap up, I want to take a minute to just talk about what happens and what's possible for you when you start getting this, when you can start leading your relationships this way, when you start moving into the revolution and practicing enlightened self-interest, when you start practicing relationality, when you move out of me versus you and into the us, into the partnership. Now, in that space, the conflict, the struggles that you and your partner have, they become information. They become opportunities for growth and expansion, for connection and deepening, and not necessarily a threat. Sure, they still may be painful and annoying, but there's a whole other meaning, a whole other perception, and a whole other orientation to them. And the result is more and better for you, such that the next set of problems are farther away, are easier to handle, are shorter in duration, right? It's like you go to the gym and you keep lifting weights, and at first it's really hard, but the more you do it, the easier your weights get. And it's not because the weights got lighter, it's because you got stronger. Right? It's like conflict becomes like that. Except actually you just don't even need to lift weights as much. It's like you don't metaphor is bad. Okay. You just don't have conflict as much. Okay. So when you do have conflict, you're stronger, but you also don't have conflict as much. It's beautiful. I'll say also, when you've moved into this revolutionary space and you're in relationality, now this sense of responsibility of like, I am the one, I can change the relationship. I can lead the relationship. That sense of responsibility, of accountability, of what we call empowered accountability or relational leadership, that becomes your power, not a weight, not a sense of blame or guilt or shame. It's your power. You feel empowered. You feel strong and confident, and like securely anchored in your ability to navigate whatever happens on this relational journey. And that, like, how do you How do you put a value on that? The sense that anchored certainty in your ability to get through anything together. The confidence that your relationship is unshakable, bulletproof, indestructible. That you yourself know how to navigate whatever shows up. It's life-changing, right? And then I want to add that, like, in this space, love and your partnership becomes a sanctuary, a place of recharge, a place you can return to for rejuvenation, and not something that you have to fight to keep or to fix. It's something that is there for you, a source of energy that exists of its own accord and is self-generating, because life has enough asks of you and will take enough from you, and we need a generative source of energy input. And we all dream of our relationship being that. This is the way, this revolution is the way to co-create that at home. Isn't that what we desire? This revolution, my friends, this is the beginning of wholeness. This is the beginning of healing, not just in you, not just in your relationship, but in the world. And I'm so excited to continue this journey and this conversation with you throughout January. And I'm so excited to go deeper with you in the Relationship Revolution community. If you know that you're the kind of person who wants to grow, who loves to grow, who wants to be the best partner that you can, who desires for your relationship to be the kind of relationship that you've always dreamed of, and wants to learn, not just learn the way, but embody the way, live the way, and do so in a container of support and inspiration, the Relationship Revolution community is where you want to be. It is powerful. It is embodiment. It is evolving. Again, I have some inspired ideas that have been downloading for me about how to add even more value to the Relationship Revolution membership community. I'm really excited about what 2026 is going to bring in there, in that space. So please, if you are feeling the call, don't hesitate. The membership is $147 a month, and you can cancel anytime. So come check it out. We meet once a month. There's weekly activations. You can ask questions of me anytime, to which I'll respond. We've got a really lovely community, and I would love to see you in there. The link to join the community is in the chat. I also promised I wanted to share a great opportunity coming up, I believe in February, that I don't want you to miss. This is a one-time opportunity, and it is called the Catalyst Accelerator. So this is a 6-week program that I am teaching live, and this is going to be the only time that I teach it live. After this, the Catalyst Accelerator is going to become a digital product. And what I'm doing in the Catalyst Accelerator is sharing all of Powerful Love's path and tools that we have historically reserved for our high touch, like premium proximity clients. We are laying out the whole path, everything that you need to transform your relationship in this new year, plus pieces that I have never taught or talked about before. This is the evolution of Powerful Love's thought leadership, of our frameworks, of our tools, of our proven path. And I want to be able to share this in an energetic space of real people, And following the classes, I'm offering live Q&A sessions, so you get opportunities to ask questions and get some mentorship or live coaching on your own relationship. And it's going to be really powerful and transformational. And you get to be a part of this for the only live, what's the word I'm looking for? Offering, I suppose. And the investment is only $1,111 for 6-week live taught program, which I'm pretty excited about. So if that is calling to you and you're ready to kick off 2026 in like a really powerful way, and you're looking for the catalyst that is going to accelerate your transformation and put you in the driver's seat of knowing exactly what to do and how to do it, to shift the energy, the frequency, the identity, the mindset, and empower you with all of the tools that you need to be successful, be in the Catalyst room. Comment Catalyst, and I will get you the link or answer any questions that you may have. That's all you got to do to get it. Just comment Catalyst. It's $1,111. And my plan is to start in February. So, very excited. Okay. That's it for today. Thank you for sticking with me for a longer than usual class, but this is one, again, that I'm very passionate about. So I can't wait to hear your comments. Let me know what landed, how this went. And again, please come back next week for another Catalyst conversation in the relationship revolution. We're getting into the deeper into the relationship revolution itself. Next week, we are talking about where your power lives and what being in the revolution means for you, how we move in the revolution, like what that actually looks like. It's going to be really good, really important. And until then, of course, my friends, keep leading with love.